Russian war crimes against LGBTQ plus Ukrainians are, quote, worse than people can imagine, unquote. As the war in Ukraine continues, reports of war crimes committed by Russia are pouring in. A U.S. investigator known as Captain Pegleg spoke with LGBTQ plus nations saying, quote, let's talk about a couple of issues that may be of interest to your publication. Male-on-male rape and plans to hunt down and execute gays, lesbians, and anyone different. From just what I've seen, there's a vile anti-gay agenda, which has included desires and plans to, and how do I put this nicely, to castrate and kill gay men. I'd almost call it a hunt in one of the situations I'm aware of, and what I've been briefed on and what we are trying to do is destigmatize the fear out of being gay, out of being lesbian, so they aren't afraid of speaking to Ukrainian authorities as witnesses, unquote.
It's just heartbreaking. We knew there was horrible stuff going on, but then to actually have somebody say it and detail it. You know, I had read a story recently about lesbians that were caught and they were raped in front of their partners. And that's just a normal Tuesday that's going on there to our people over there in the Ukraine. And it's just, it's heartbreaking. We really have no idea.
But how far are we from that in the United States with this culture of anger and hatred toward gays that we've created, not are creating, it's there now. So, you know, how much longer is it going to be before some act of violence is committed against, you know, LGBTQ American, and everybody just sort of goes,
Yeah, and just a reminder, it began on June 12th, 2016 at Pulse nightclub at 2:02 a.m.
Yeah.
That was a religious motivated attack on LGBTQ that killed 49 and injured 51. It began on that day.
And I'm sorry, and to your point, Texas GOP just put this in their platform.
Yeah.
Many of these ideas, these things that are actually happening. There are people in Texas and throughout the country, I'm sure, that are saying, yes, execute the gays. We did a story on this a couple weeks ago where a preacher at a strip mall church was saying this. So these things aren't just abstract ideas or in third world parts of the country. These are now in the third world parts of America, but they're making their way into the mainstream, including legitimate political discourse like the Texas GOP platform.
A week, I just remind everybody, a week before Russia invaded Ukraine, the State Department issued an advisory summary report of their concern that among the hardest hit on a potential Russian invasion was going to be the LGBTQ community. And the State Department warned via the White House messaging that the possibility of atrocities would take place. Now, months into this, we are hearing and seeing the atrocities taking place. One of the things that was exceptionally disturbing to me on this report that LGBTQ Nation received, and congratulations to you, it's a great story that's important for us to hear and understand, is male-on-male rape. Horrific in the examples of the two lesbian partners, and there's been multiple examples of that. But male-on-male rape of Russian soldiers raping Ukrainian gay men seems to me, wait, you're having gay sex. And it's the testament of what doesn't exist in Russia. And Moscow says there is no homosexuality in Russia, but those same people are committing male-on-male rape. It is homosexuality, and it's an atrocity, and it is a war crime. And sooner or later, hopefully not the later, and hopefully the sooner, people are going to pay for the war crimes that are committed, and we're watching it. The other thing that I think is important that disturbs me a little is that we are not talking about it. In the LGBTQ community in America, it is understandable because our plate is pretty full with the hate that we're experiencing in different ways. But still, this is something that I think should be in front of us and we should be talking about, because there are multiple places in this world where LGBT brothers and sisters and cousins are under horrific treatment, even to the point of death. Afghanistan being one of the leading examples. And I think our responsibility in our community is at least to be talking about it and acknowledging it. And I'm concerned we're not doing enough of that.
Because it's not happening here. Because it's not under our noses. That's why we're not talking about it.
And I hate that conclusion. I think that that is logically the conclusion, and our plate is very full. But I still hate that, because if we faced something terrible, which might be coming, frankly, from the Supreme Court or radical GOP expansion in the House or the Senate, or a president of the United States even worse than what we saw from Donald Trump. Donald Trump was ignorant and bad. We may be seeing on the horizon someone that is an evil genius and bad. And we'll want the world to call attention to our plight if that comes to us. We have an obligation to call at hand the plight of what we're watching in Ukraine.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire